You're listening to Dramas Over Flowers. This is an episode of The Little Yak with Saya, Anissa, and Parma. Hi, I'm Anissa. We're trying something new. We'll be doing occasional Little Yaks, shorter episodes focusing on a currently airing drama. In this first one, we discuss our first impressions of the new coming-of-age romance drama Record of Youth, starring Park Bo-gum and Park So-dam. We were highly anticipating this one for many reasons, and so far, we love it. This episode is produced with the support of patrons. Thank you! You can find our page at patreon.com/dramasoverflowers. And now for some banter.
This is Saya.
This is Anissa.
And this is Parma.
Today we want to talk about Record of Youth, which just aired starting on Monday of this week. And it's Wednesday today, so we are fresh from watching it. What did you guys think?
I am really enjoying it. I didn't even realize that this was the writer of Temperature of Love. And
I've only been saying it for like the last 6 weeks.
I know you have, but I am horrible in that I have very selective memory, and this one just didn't stick. So I thought that there was something very familiar about the way the story was written, the way the emotions were written. Because not all writers can write emotions like this, where it's like a visible character all on its own. And that is, how this drama is. And like your emotions have an arc. It's a whole, okay, anyway, enough about emotions. And the director of Stranger, Forest of Secrets, which I just got done watching. And I mean, season 1, I'm yet to, get into season 2.
Yeah, I know that in the beginning when we first started our weekly review of Forest of Secrets 2, also known as Stranger 2, like, we said we can't really tell if the change in director has made a difference, but I actually I have been feeling, I don't know if anybody else has been feeling, but I've been feeling that I miss Angelo, and watching his work again in this drama, I'm just like, it's so beautiful. It's nice to see her work again. I'm enjoying that aspect a lot. I don't have as much love for, is it Ha Myung-hee?
Mm-hmm.
As Saya does, just because the only drama of hers that I've watched all the way through is One Warm Word, and that's like a very intense melodrama, which is such a different genre that I can't really judge, but I do really love her dialogue.
Yeah.
And as usual, the dialogue is excellent in this. And Park Bo-gum!
I said this already on Twitter, but I know everyone is watching this for Park Bo-gum and for Park So-dam, but I'm here for Ha Myung-hee, and it's actually, I find it really difficult to talk about why I like it, because it's the kind of thing I would write about. And I think we've observed before that her dramas are very much a writer's drama. And yeah, I actually find it really hard to sit here and talk about it when it feels more natural and rich for me to sit here and write about it when nobody's watching me while squeeing my face off. I remember when we were watching the opening episodes of Temperature of Love, and how kind of almost intoxicating they were in just the emotions. And P, you said let's move on from the emotions. You can't, because her writing is all about the emotions. If it's not the emotions, then it's nothing.
Yeah. I think for me, I do find that sometimes the dialogue is a little bit too much. Yeah, there are some cases where she uses 12 lines of dialogue where 9 would have been perfect. But it's so well written that I don't really mind that much, it's okay. But I am I'm always for being concise. That's just my personality. So I do sometimes, I'm okay, you could have just dialed it down 10%, it would have been fine. But the quality is very high anyway, so.
I'm exactly the opposite in that I find that her writing is sparse enough. I enjoy the extra lines she puts in, so to speak. I know that the gist of what she's trying to do, the thrust of it has already been executed, so we can just leave the scene at that. But then she does a few extra things, and I actually enjoy those extra things.
Yeah, like I feel similarly. I feel that it's restrained enough, but at the same time, and can I preface this comment by saying I really hate banter. Like, banter is the thing that I despise the most among all forms of human communication. But,
Really?
Oh my god!
Oh
wow.
my god! I'm shocked.
No, I don't mean banter between friends. I mean when you are okay. I mean, we're not going to talk about matchmaking journeys, but like when you meet people and all they have is banter, and you're like, okay, so what's past the banter? What's beyond that? What's deeper than that? And there's nothing. They are only banter. Whereas the banter, I just really hate the word as well. The banter that I would like, it's like the more you say it, the more it loses meaning.
I was just going to say that.
The kind of banter that I feel that you can enjoy is the one that arises from a rich existing relationship. It's like it's the frosting on the cake of your relationship, right? Whereas with a lot of communication that I have experienced in other contexts, you feel like all they've got is the icing and there's no cake. And you're like, but I'm here for cake. I like icing when it's on the cake. I don't like icing on its own.
Yeah.
So what she's got this like wonderful rapid fire banter going on, but I feel it's restrained enough. Though I can see how a different personality would, i.e. you, Anissa, would be like, okay, that's just a little too much. Like the Pakbogum Paksodam, like there when they meet and they just have these a series of conversations that go by so fast and they're so fun, but also like something is happening. It's not meaningless, but it's so enjoyable, and the wordplay and like the wittiness of it.
It's interesting you say that about banter, though, because, like, I feel like I only really think about banter in the context of fiction. I don't really think about real life having banter, because that's just, like, bad pickup lines and, like, men trying to be funny when they're not. Maybe I should take this out. But like, when I think about banter, I think about, like, rom-coms and meet cutes and, like...
Witty repartee, right?
Yeah, when it's done well, it is telling you about the characters and how their relationship is changing and what they're learning about each other. So I actually love banter, but I mean, obviously everything can be done better.
Like the drawing room back and forth between Darcy and Elizabeth, right?
Exactly.
That's like about...
the original banter.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of banter.
I'm totally coming at banter from a real life, unhappy experiences of it.
Yeah. And also, I honestly think that the English just use the word banter differently at this point.
Know, when you read those profiles and they're like, I like banter, and you're like, instant swipe left.
Maybe this is a British thing.
I don't know.
I've never experienced it.
I think it is a British thing.
Oh, maybe.
It must be a British
knows?
thing. That's why we don't get it, Porma.
So there's a character on Too Hot to Handle, this girl who's English, and she keeps using the word banter, and she says that in that banter.
Banter.
I can't even. And clearly nobody understands what she means by banter, because she doesn't actually seem to mean wit. She seems to mean a kind of flirtation that is very surface level.
Yeah, exactly.
But she likes that. That's what she's looking for. And it was annoying the hell out of me, because that is not what banter means.
And then, there's the other conversations, right? Like the non-happy and delicious ones where you have Pak Bogum and his family.
Oh, those are some of my favorite conversations.
They're so good and like so sad, like so painful, but like
so realistic though.
So good.
So
like you can understand everyone in that situation, even though like it's miserable. And you feel hurt on his behalf, but you like get his parents. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, everything from the framing of the scenes, how it's being blocked out, how certain characters are entering the scene, having their say and maybe storming out, and then the mom is garrisoning her older son and husband into the bathroom because she doesn't want her younger son's feelings hurt by what they were saying. It just, I love the entire the movement of the characters. Just everything is done so perfectly, man. Just
I have so many thoughts about the parents.
Yeah, and the way that each scene flows into the next one and how everything has like a very it's interesting because when I saw the trailer or the teaser, it was everything kind of was happening very quickly and I was like, what is this even going to be about?
Yeah.
But then when you see the way that the scenes are laid out and like I think this director and this writer like they click really well.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch the rest of this.
I think Ankiro's last 2 dramas were thrillers, right? What did he do before Watcher?
Forest of Secrets, Stranger One.
He was also the one who did Alhambra, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
just
then it was
kept watching
Stranger,
for the visuals.
Alhambra,
Watcher.
and then this, I think.
Yeah, it is strange to see that same style applied to a completely different genre. But yeah, I'm digging it.
But it works. Like his use of visual language is just
Always.
Yeah.
But to get a little more to the specifics, did the employer-employee relationship, the housekeeper and the friend's mom relationship
mom,
remind
yeah.
you guys of heirs? You know,
Ugh.
the mom and
Yeah.
the housekeeper, the deaf housekeeper.
A little, but also it put me more in mind of some of the characters in Temperature of Love. And what I found really interesting is as I was watching it, I was trying to draw parallels between the 2 shows, and I actually found no, the characters are very different in Record of Youth compared to how they are in Temperature of Love. And like, for example, with Heo's mum, she's weirdly likable, but she's also really bad.
Awful.
Yeah,
She's not
but
likable.
also you
I
can't
hate
help
her.
kind of adoring her. Like I think it's the actress. She's got this wonderful winning kind of charm, but she's also pretty bad. And you're like, I don't know how to feel about you.
She is really charming, but she's also super entitled about her place in the world, what her son deserves, and what she deserves. So that entitlement is what makes her awful.
And if you separate the text of her words from the way she delivers them, suddenly, like, look at the words on their own, and they have this very twisted, dark, kind of manipulative, controlling meaning. But then couple it with that really charming, kind of sweet, loving tone, and you just have mind screw.
Conflict.
It's great. Great, I love it. This is Ham Young-yee's power in creating characters. That's what I really enjoy.
I really like how we're meeting these two. I mean, it's set in 2018, right? So we see them in 2018. But I like how we're meeting them both when they're each struggling in their own way. But the connection that they eventually form, it's not that he finds out that she's his fan because she lies about that. It's both are like really fundamentally decent people, and they witness each other being really decent in a very sort of natural way. It's not like dramatic or anything like that, but they're just like observing each other and how they are with other human beings. And that's what really makes them become friends. And I really loved that that was like how they first get to know each other. And, you know, like, I'm sure that a lot of things will happen and we're going to see them in a flash forward. Hopefully everyone will have better hair in 2020. But I just liked how this was like their initial meeting, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm a fangirl, and then all of a sudden like she meets her fan and he's like, oh, you're my fan, do you adore me? And like, if that was the dynamic, I think I wouldn't have liked it as much.
No, and also, even though I was a bit disappointed that they took the predictable path, because as soon as I saw that she had two models, like a picture of both the models on her screen, I figured that this was the path they were gonna go. Oh, I'm not your fan, I'm his fan. Why did you assume? And that was a bit hurtful because she has to know that his popularity is waning. So hearing that his friend is the one that she's a fan of, it's just a tiny sting that didn't need to be given, but she was trying to sort of protect her embarrassment, I suppose. But it also avoids that pitfall of it inevitably creates a distance between you and your fan, if that's your relationship, and there should be a distance, versus a situation where now these two are friends and he thinks he's helping her sort of meet her bias stan. So it's cute. It's a far more natural way of becoming friends. And I like how she discovers that he isn't exactly what she had imagined him to be. So yeah, super cute.
Any last words?
I have so much to say about this drama, but we have to stop. Even 2 episodes in.
Yeah. I think we're all really, really looking forward to this one. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. So far, I've enjoyed all the
Definitely.
characters that have been introduced, even the guest characters. Much to say, but we'll reserve that for another day.
All right. Let us know what you thought of this first 2 episodes of Record of Youth. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter at Dramas Overflow. You can find me on Twitter at Anisa Khalifa_.
And you can find me, Porma, on Twitter at FestaFaster.
And you can find me at Not Now Sire. And you can find us on Instagram at dramasoverflowers_podcast. Is that
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can find our blog at dramasoverflowers.net.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.